Hi students, how are you all? So today's topic is in states of matter. We are going to see the kinetic molecular theory of gases, which is very important one. Okay, so previous videos we had seen the Dalton's law, Graham's law. So if you want to those videos, you can watch the end of the screen. You can see in the end of the screen as well as in the iCard also you can see. And you visit the playlist of my upper chemistry classes. There you will see the complete videos of all the chapters. Now let's get into this chapter. What are the concept? That is kinetic molecular theory of gases. Now here the kinetic molecular theory of gases is applicable only for the ideal gases only, which is not applicable for the real gases. To explain that ideal gases, so they proposed this Maxwell and those all scientists, they proposed this Maxwell distribution, kinetic molecular theory of gases. Now in this kinetic molecular theory of gases is also simply in short form it is written as KMTG, kinetic molecular theory of gases. Now we will see the postulates of KMTG, postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Now what are the postulates we have? If we are taking it is a gas container. Now gas molecules are what, which are very small and very tiny particles which will move very randomly in all directions. See here, these are the gas molecules which are far from one another. Okay, now these are the gas molecules which are well separated from each other. That is, the distance of separation between the gas molecule is very large. As we know that we had seen the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Their gases are having the what, large separation between the one gas molecule to another gas molecule, because they are having the low negligible attractive forces. Okay, na? So that is according to kinetic molecular theory of gases. The first postulate is what, very small and tiny particles of these very tiny and small particles are said to be gas particles. These gas particles will move very randomly in all directions. When they are moving in all direction, they may made some collisions on the inner walls of the container, or they may be colliding with the other gas molecule which are present in the container. Okay, so then what happens? They must have some attractive forces or they must have some repulsive forces. But according to this kinetic molecular theory of gases, whatever the attractive and repulsive forces between the gas molecule is negligible. Okay, na? So now here, what is the first postulate? The gas molecules are considered as very small and tiny particles which are well separated from each other. So for that reason, volume of a gas molecule is negligible. Volume of a gas is negligible when compared to the negligible when compared to total volume of the gas, when compared to total volume of the gas, total volume of a gas. And after that, there are no attractive and repulsive forces are present between the gas molecule. According to kinetic molecular theory, there are no attractive or repulsive forces are present between the kinetic molecular in between the gas molecule. And whatever the force of gravity, the gravity is also not present on the gas molecule according to these postulates of kinetic molecular theory. So the gravity will be negligible on the gas molecule. And when the gas molecules are colliding with each other, they will neither lose the energy nor gain the energy. Just what happens, one gas molecule will exchange the another gas molecule energy. Just energy exchange may take place, but they neither lose the energy nor gain the energy. Okay, na? Energy will exchange. That is, average energy of the gas molecule remains constant. That is what we are calling the collisions between the gas molecule is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic collisions. These collisions are said to be what? Perfectly elastic collisions. So why they are called perfectly elastic collision? Because the average energy of the gas molecule remains constant. That energy, when the gas molecules are colliding with one gas molecule is collided with another gas molecule, their energy may be exchanged, but the total energy cannot be neither be destroyed nor be created in the gas molecule. That is, the total energy of the after collision also it will be remains the same. That is, so for that reason such type of collisions are called perfectly elastic collisions. Here what happens? The gas molecules are colliding with each other and also they are colliding with the inner walls of the container. When they are colliding with inner walls of the container, with some force they are hitting on the inner wall of the container. That is force per unit area. On unit area they are hitting. So which indicates that some pressure will be developed. The pressure of the gas molecule is due to collisions made on the inner walls of the container, not between the collisions made by the gas molecule. That is very important one. So pressure is due to inner walls of the collisions made on the inner wall of the container. And after that what he told, there are negligible attractive forces. There are no attractive forces between the gas molecule. And after that what happens? Excuse me. The average kinetic energy of the gas molecule is directly proportional to absolute temperature. The average kinetic energy of the gas molecule is only depends on the temperature. It does not depend on the nature of the gas. If you are taking average kinetic energy is nothing but kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas. It is also called kinetic energy per mole, or it is also called average kinetic energy. It only depends on the absolute temperature only. It is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Here there are two wrong assumptions which was made by the kinetic molecular theory of gases. What are those? Volume occupied by the gas molecule is negligible when compared to the total volume of the gas. Okay na? So why it is negligible? If it is negligible, if that gas is not occupying some volume in the container, so how you are getting the liquid gases? If that gas is not occupied, so then how it is creating some pressure? So that is very small portion it is occupying. Okay, so we should not neglect it. It has some volume it is occupying. Okay na? So we should not neglect. That is the one of the wrong assumption. And also he told that there are no attractive forces and repulsive forces between the gas molecule. He is saying no attractive forces means, if they are not having attractive forces means, can we convert into liquid state? We cannot. Means we should not get the liquid air, liquid gases, but we are having the liquid oxygen cylinder, liquid nitrogen. How like that liquid gases are there? Okay, we are compressing and we are converting into liquid state. Means they must have some attractive forces. The attractive forces are negligible in case of gas molecule according to postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. These two are the wrong assumption which was made by kinetic molecular theory of gases. So based on these postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, they proposed the kinetic gas equation. They given the kinetic gas equation. What is the kinetic gas equation here? Kinetic gas equation. That is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn c square. What is m here? What is p here? Pressure. What is v? Volume. M is mass of a gas. N is number of molecules of a gas. C is RMS velocity. C is RMS velocity. What is mean by RMS velocity here? What is the significance of this RMS velocity? RMS velocity is nothing but root mean square velocity. What it is? Root mean square velocity. Root mean square velocities. So that is, if you are taking the different types of gases which are having different velocities, say for example C1, C2, C3. So we have to take this square, their mean of the squares of the velocities. Squares of the velocities. That is N1 for the C1 gas. That is C1 velocity containing molecule contains the N1 number of molecules, and N2 molecule, N3 molecule, so on. So these all will be squares of the velocities. Mean of the squares of the velocities, it must be square root. That is what we are calling root mean, that is average of the squares of the velocities is called RMS velocity. Is called CRMS velocity. Is that clear? That is what RMS velocity. What is the significance in this kinetic gas equation? Why we have to take that RMS velocity? We know that velocity is a vector quantity which have velocity. Some gas molecule will move in this direction, some gas molecule will move exactly in opposite direction. When the gas molecule is moving in forward direction, we'll take it as about plus. If it is moving in opposite direction, we'll take it as negative. So if you are taking only velocity, then what happens? Sometimes we'll get the what negative values. So if you do that negative value squaring, then what happens? It becomes positive. Always it is a positive one. Velocity, it is always should be taken in positive. So for that reason, we have taken the square of the RMS velocity to avoid the negative values. And average velocity of the gas molecule, sometimes it will be zero also. When it is one gas molecule is moving in forward, another one is moving in backward, then one will be in plus, another one is minus. Then what happens? The average velocity of the gas molecule may be sometimes zero, sometimes maybe it is negative. So for that reason, we are taking the square of the RMS velocity. Is that clear? That is the main significance of RMS velocity. So this kinetic gas equation is applicable for the only for the ideal gases only. The gases which obeys this kinetic gas equation and which satisfies the postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, those gases are said to be ideal gases. Okay, so that is what postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Once again, so postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, according to this one, the gas molecules are very small and tiny particles. One gas molecule is separated by another gas molecule with a large distance. So the gas molecule occupied volume is negligible when compared to the total volume of the gas molecule. And after that, whatever the collisions which are made between the gas molecule, those are perfectly elastic collision, which means that the average energy of the gas molecule remains constant. Okay, now that is, when they are colliding, just they will exchange the energy, but neither lose the energy nor gain the energy, just they will exchange. Then resultant average energy of the particles will be, gas particles will be, remains constant. So for that reason, they are called perfectly elastic collision. According to this kinetic molecular theory of gases, so there are no attractive and repulsive forces between the gas molecule. And average kinetic energy of the gas molecule is directly proportional to absolute temperature. There is no gravity on the gas molecule according to postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. So based on this postulate, we given the kinetic gas equation, that is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mnc square. P is pressure, V is volume, m is mass of the gas molecule, n is number of molecules of the gas, C is RMS velocity. What is the significance of RMS velocity also we had discussed. Next we will see the how we can deduce all the gas equation from this kinetic gas equation. We'll see. We have some gas laws are there, no? Those all gas laws can be deduced from this kinetic gas equation. Now we are going to see the deduction of gas laws from kinetic gas equation, which is somewhat very important one. So in that most important, kinetic energy, deduction of kinetic energy and Graham's law, Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, all the gas laws can be deduced from this kinetic gas equation. So deduction of gas laws from the deduction of gas laws from kinetic gas equation, KGE, kinetic gas equation. Kinetic gas equation is which one? PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn c square. Now you see here, so first I want to derive this Boyle's law. Boyle's law is what here? Boyle's law is PV law at constant temperature. It is an PV law. So at a constant temperature, I have to show that PV must be equal to constant. Now you see here. So PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn c square is there, no? That what I am doing? I am multiplying and dividing with the 2. So is there any change? Mn c square. Is there any change? No change. Now here n molecules of the gas contains m mass. Then if you are multiplying that n into m, then you are going to get the molecular weight of that gas. Then what happens? PV is equal to 2 by 3 into half m c square, half mc square, half mc square. Now here it is half mc square is nothing but what? Kinetic energy. That is which kinetic energy? Average kinetic energy of the gas molecule. You write it here, PV is equal to 2 by 3 kinetic energy. Now we know that according to postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, average kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. From this kinetic energy is equal to K into T. Kinetic energy is equal to K into T. In place of kinetic energy, K is what here? Proportionality constant. Just you substitute there. PV is equal to what happens? 2 by 3 K into T. Just you take it as in box, which is important one. Now you see here what we are doing here. At constant temperature, that is temperature is remains constant, K is constant, 2 by 3 is constant. That is PV is equal to constant or not. That is hence Boyle's law is proved. PV is equal to constant. Is that clear? So that is Boyle's law we derived. Next we will see the Charles law. So here Charles law also you can take here the same equation, which is just you take it as 1. From 1, PV is equal to 2 by 3 into K into T. So we know that Charles law is what? It is an VT law. That is V by T must be equal to constant, we have to show. V by T must be equal to constant, we have to show. You see here, so V by T, this T is multiplying here, I am taking this side. That is 2 by 3 into K by P. So at constant pressure, it is at constant pressure, no? At constant pressure, volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure. So pressure is constant, K is constant, 2 by 3 is constant. That is V by T is constant or not. That is hence we can prove the what? Charles law. Okay, now that is the kinetic gas equation is obeying the Charles law also. We'll see the next Avogadro's law. How Avogadro's law will be derived from this kinetic gas equation, we'll see. Avogadro's law, which is very important one. So you try to understand the Avogadro's law. Third one, that is Avogadro's law. According to this Avogadro's law, how we can define the Avogadro's law here? The equal volume of gases contain equal number of moles or equal number of molecules. That is, equal volume if you are taking means their number of moles and number of molecule will be remains the same. Now we know that PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn c square. Okay, what I am saying? Equal volume I am saying. Equal volumes I am saying. If I am saying equal volume means V is same, remains constant. For the first gas, if you are taking for first gas, then what happens? 1 by 3 m1 n1 c1 square by P. That is, first gas mass is m1, its number of molecules are n1 and RMS velocity is c1. Now for second gas it will be P2 is equal to 1 by 3 m2 n2 c2 square by V. Okay, so now you see here, we know that equal volume of gases, it is P1 and it is P2. That is at constant, here it is constant pressure and volume, no, constant. Equal volume of gases contain equal number of moles at constant temperature and pressure. At constant temperature and pressure. Okay, pressure is constant, volume is also constant. Then what happens? These two must be, PV is same here, PV is same. Then this must be equal. 1 by 3 m1 n1 c1 square is equal to 1 by 3 m2 n2 c2 square. Just what you do, multiply with the 2 and divide with the 2. Just I am writing as 2 by 3 n1, okay na, into 1 by 2 m1 c1 square. Can I write like this? Again you will get same, 2 get cancel, again we will get the same. So here also I am writing 2 by 3 into 1 by 2, 2 by 3 into n2 into 1 by 2 m2 c2 square. Now then what happens here? 2 by 3 get cancelled. Now here we know that half mc square is nothing but what? Kinetic energy. We know that kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Okay, now. So then what happens? It will be, it remains constant. That is kinetic energy, average kinetic energy is depends only on the temperature. That what we are saying here, at constant temperature we are taking. At constant temperature what happens? Kinetic energy will be remains constant or not? That is half m1 c1 square is equal to half m2 c2 square. So just you substitute in this equation. In place of m1 c1 square, half m1 c1 square, you substitute this one. Then these two will be get cancelled out or not? Then what is left over? Then finally we will get the what? N1 is equal to N2. That is, at constant temperature and pressure, at standard conditions of temperature and pressure, equal volume of gases contain equal number of moles or equal number of molecules. Is that clear, Avogadro's law? Very important. Next we are going to see the Dalton's law. How we can derive the Dalton's law from the kinetic gas equation, we will see. So Dalton's law is what? It is applicable for the non-reacting gases. You can see the previous video. There you will find the Dalton's law, complete details about Dalton's law. That is, total pressure must be equal to sum of the partial pressures. If it is two gases are there, that is P1 plus P2. Now we know that it is an closed container. That is, volume is remains constant. That is, for first gas it will be 1 by 3 m1 n1 c1 square by v. For second gas it will be P2 is equal to 1 by 3 m2 n2 c2 square by v. Okay. So when we are having it is first container, it is second container. Both container having the same volume. So first we are sending this gas into this volume. After that we are removing and we are sending this one. So when we are adding both of them, then what happens? Resultant pressure will be P, that is equal to 1 by 3 m1 n1 c1 square by v plus 1 by 3 m2 n2 c2 square by v. That is, 1 by 3 m1 v1 square is nothing but what? P1 plus it is nothing but P2. That is, total pressure must be equal to P1 plus P2 at constant temperature. Is that clear? At constant temperature and volume, what happens? The total pressure must be equal to sum of the partial pressures. That is what we are calling Dalton's law. We can derive the Graham's law also. We can derive the Graham's law of diffusion also. What is Graham's law here? Rate of diffusion must be, it is an inversely proportional to square root of its molecular weight. We have the PV is equal to 1 by 3 mc square. Here Mn is there, no? That Mn is taken as what? Capital M. That is mass of the gas multiplied with number of molecules, then we will get the molecular weight. So from this what happens? We want the velocity, that is c square is equal to 3 into PV by m. So from this c is equal to what happens? Square root of 3 PV by m. 3 PV by m. That is, at constant pressure and volume. At constant pressure and volume, the velocity is inversely proportional to square root of molecular weight R. So you can try take it as, or else c is equal to square root of 3RT by m. 3RT by m. So from this we know that, from this formula, we know that density is formula is what? Mass by volume. Density is nothing but what? Mass by volume. So there we have volume by mass is there. Is it or not? Volume by mass is there. So density is equal to mass by volume. So 1 by density is equal to what happens? Volume by mass. We have volume by mass now. There you substitute the density. Then C is equal to square root of 3P by D it is. So here you can say that C is what? Velocity. That is how much distance it is travelled in a certain time. That is what we are calling rate of diffusion. That is, C is inversely proportional to square root of D. At constant pressure, the rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to square root of its density. Is it or not? That is what Graham's law is proved. Is that clear? Like that, each and every gas laws can be, ideal gas laws can be derived from this kinetic gas equation. Now we can derive the kinetic energy formula also from this kinetic gas equation. Kinetic energy, deduction of kinetic energy formula. We know that PV is equal to 1 by 3 Mn c square. Okay, so we know that PV is equal to, just you write it 2 by 3 into half mc square, half mc square. Then it is what? Kinetic energy. So PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. From this, kinetic energy is equal to what happens? 3 by 2 into PV. Okay, we know that from ideal gas equation, PV is equal to NTR. You substitute in place of that PV. Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into NTR. 3 by 2 into NTR. Is that clear? Kinetic energy formula is what? 3 by 2 nRT or 3 by 2 NTR. Whatever the way you can remember. Okay. So, in easy manner we have to remember the formulas. Now 3 by 2 nRT is the formula of kinetic energy for an ideal gas. For real gas we have half mc square, half mv square. For an ideal gas, kinetic energy will be 3 by 2 NTR. It is kinetic energy for n molecules of gas, n moles of a gas. Kinetic energy for n moles of a gas, n moles of gas. If it is for 1 mole of gas, kinetic energy will be what happens? Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. It is kinetic energy for 1 mole of a gas. Kinetic energy for 1 mole of a gas. 1 mole of gas. It is also called average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy. Okay, na? So for 1 mole of a gas, kinetic energy, whatever we are getting, that is also called average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy is only depends on the temperature. That is, kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So it does not depend on the nature of the gas. It only depends on the temperature. If you are taking the methane and oxygen, if they are 1 mole, okay, na, then what happens? That depends only on the kinetic energy of the methane and oxygen gas, depends only on the temperature. It does not depend on the, so what type of gas it is, methane or whatever the etc. gas it may be. It depends only on the absolute temperature. If they are saying average kinetic energy or kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas, then you need to take only temperature as consideration. Kinetic energy only depends on the temperature. It does not depend on the nature of the gas. Is that clear? That is very important. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So from this, what you can write? Kinetic energy of first gas by kinetic energy of second gas is equal to T1 by T2. If it is other than, if it is not the average kinetic energy, so it is for n moles of a gas, kinetic energy if you are calculating, then kinetic energy will depends on the number of moles also. That is Ke1 by Ke2. That is, here you can take here the kinetic energy is directly proportional to N1 and T1, N into T, because R is constant, 3 by 2 is constant. In case of n moles of a gas, it is different number of moles are there, then it will depends on the N and T. That is, kinetic energy of first gas is nothing but N1 T1, second gas is N2 T2. Okay, these are the formulas which are helpful while doing the calculation part. Is that clear? Kinetic energy. One more important one is here, Boltzmann constant. Boltzmann constant. What is this Boltzmann constant? Boltzmann constant is nothing but it is an universal gas constant per 1 molecule of a gas. Boltzmann constant is defined as it is an universal gas constant. It is a gas constant for 1 molecule of a gas. Whatever the gas constant we have, it is for 1 mole of a gas. It is not for the 1 molecule. In 1 mole contain how many molecules are there? Avogadro number of molecules are there. Okay, na? So now we will see here, in this case, Boltzmann constant, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. It is average kinetic energy or for 1 mole of a gas. For 1 mole of a gas, for 1 mole, how many molecules are there? Na number of molecules are there. Na number of molecules. For 1 molecule, how many moles it will be? That is 1 by Na. So if you are getting the kinetic energy for 1 molecule, kinetic energy for 1 molecule, then what happens? Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into R by Na into T. So this R by Na is called Boltzmann constant K. Boltzmann constant is represented with K. So K is nothing but what? R by Na. It is Boltzmann constant. The gas constant per one molecule of a gas is called Boltzmann constant. Is that clear? Boltzmann constant is nothing but it is a gas constant for one molecule of a gas. Okay, now that is what we are calling Boltzmann constant. Here the value of Boltzmann constant is important. Now you see here Boltzmann constant value will be, so R value you take the 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole by Na we know that 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules it is. Okay, now it is in joules per Kelvin per mole. Okay, so it is per mole. It is per molecule it will be. Okay, now so here mole get cancelled. We will get the per molecule, no? So per molecule it is molecules. These many molecules. Now if you do this calculation, you will get 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 joules per Kelvin per molecule it is. It is what? Per molecule. Boltzmann constant value is what? 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 joule per Kelvin per molecule. We know that 1 joule is equal to how many ergs? 10 power 7 x. 10 power 7 x. You substitute that 10 power 7 x, then you will get the in terms of erg. That is 1.38 into 10 power, how much it will be? Minus 16 erg per Kelvin per molecule. Per Kelvin per molecules. So it is very important one. In terms of calorie, if they are asking, just you substitute here 1.98 and you do the calculation. You will get the in terms of calories. Is that clear? So that is what about kinetic molecular theory of gases postulates we had seen, deduction of gas laws we had seen, and kinetic energy formula also we had seen. Now we are going to see some problems on kinetic energy, which is very important one. Important kinetic energy problems. Now first one you see, how many joules of translational kinetic energy is associated with 4 grams of methane at 27 degrees Celsius. Here the number of moles of, they are not asking the average kinetic energy, they are asking different moles of methane they are taking. That is, number of moles of methane will be what happens, weight by gram molecular weight of methane, that is weight is 4, molecular weight of methane is 60, that is 1 by 4 it is. We got the number of moles we got, and temperature is how much? Temperature is 27 plus 273, that is 300 Kelvin they give. So which is associated with in joules, they are asking kinetic energy in terms of joule. That is, we have kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into nRT. So now here 3 by 2 into n is nothing but 1 by 4 into, in terms of joules they are asking R value should be taken in 8.314 into temperature is 300. You do this calculation, you will get approximately 930 joules you will get in terms of 930. Okay, na? So that is easy formula substitution. Next, 7 grams of nitrogen is present at 127 degrees Celsius and 16 grams of oxygen at 27 degrees Celsius. Calculate the ratio of kinetic energy, ratio of average kinetic energy of nitrogen and oxygen. 2 they are asking. Okay, na? So try to observe here carefully. So first we have to calculate the number of moles of nitrogen. How many number of moles of nitrogen it is? Weight 7 grams. Molecular weight of nitrogen is 28. Similarly, the oxygen, number of moles of oxygen will be, that is 16 by 32. That is nothing but here 16 by 32 is nothing but 1 by 2. 7 by 28 is nothing but 1 by 4. We got the number of moles of oxygen and nitrogen. What are the temperature they given? Temperature of nitrogen is how much? 127 plus 273, that is 400 Kelvin. So temperature of oxygen will be 27 plus 273 is nothing but 300 Kelvin. Now what they are saying in the first one, that is ratio of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, normal kinetic energy is directly proportional to N into T. If it is average kinetic energy, that is B, in average kinetic energy is directly proportional to only temperature, but normal kinetic energy is directly proportional to number of moles as well as temperature. That is kinetic energy of nitrogen by kinetic energy of oxygen is equal to number of moles of nitrogen into temperature of nitrogen by number of moles of oxygen into temperature of oxygen. That is, how many number of moles of nitrogen is there? 1 by 4 into temperature, that is 400, by 1 by 2 into 300. Two zeros get cancelled. 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 2 by 4 it becomes, that is 1 by 2 it is. This 2 by 3 it is, that is 2 by 3 is nothing but, what is the ratio? 2 by 3 is the ratio of kinetic energies. If you are taking average kinetic energy, only average kinetic energy you see. Average kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature, that is kinetic energy of, it is B1. Kinetic energy of oxygen is equal to temperature of nitrogen by temperature of oxygen. That is, temperature of nitrogen is how much? 400. By temperature of oxygen is 300. The ratio of average kinetic energy is 4 by 3. But whereas the kinetic energy is what? 2 by 3. Is that clear? That is very important one. Important model question. Okay na? So you need to understand the difference between average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy is nothing but the kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas. So what is meant by kinetic energy? Kinetic energy will varies with the number of moles of gases and temperature. Average kinetic energy only depends on the temperature, irrespective of the nature of the gas. You take at what temperature the kinetic energy of a gas molecule is 1/2 of its value at 30 degrees Celsius. Initially at T1 is what? 30. 30 plus 273, that is 303 Kelvin. Okay. At what temperature? The first kinetic energy. Now, at what temperature the kinetic energy of second gas is 1/2 of its value at 30 degrees Celsius. That is, kinetic energy initially at 30 degrees Celsius, kinetic energy is Ke1. At T2 temperature, the kinetic energy is Ke2. We know that kinetic energy of first gas by kinetic energy of second gas is equal to T1 by T2. So, kinetic energy of first gas by second gas kinetic energy is what? Half of the kinetic energy of first gas is equal to T1 is 303 by T2. So these two get cancelled. So it will go up there. T2 is equal to 303 into 1 by 2. That is 1. So 5. Okay. So again 1, 5. So 151.5 degree Kelvin it is. Convert into degree Celsius. Minus 273 you have to do. Then you will get the degree Celsius. That is minus degree Celsius you will get. Next. The ratio of the kinetic energy of equal masses of hydrogen and helium at the same temperature is, what they are saying? Ratio of kinetic energies of equal masses. That is, weight of hydrogen must be equal to weight of helium. It is taken as 1. Say for example, equal. So the number of moles of hydrogen will be what happens? 1 by 2. That is weight by gram molecular weight. Number of moles of helium will be what happens? That is 1 by 4 it is. Okay na? So kinetic energy, ratio of kinetic energy of hydrogen to kinetic energy of helium they are asking. They are not saying the average kinetic energy. They are saying only kinetic energy. Then what happens? Number of moles of hydrogen to at temperature are they given? No. Same temperature they are saying. It is moles ratio. Number of moles of helium it will be. Number of moles of hydrogen is 1 by 2. Number of moles of helium is 1 by 4. That is 1 by 2 into 4 by 1. That is 2. That is 2 by 1. The ratio of kinetic energy of hydrogen to helium is how much? Kinetic energy ratio, that is 2 by 1. Very important one. SO2 molecule is twice as heavy as O2 molecule. Hence, at 25 degrees Celsius, the ratio of average kinetic energy of SO2 and O2 is. Tell me this one. What they are saying here? Average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Now you see here, SO2 molecule is twice as heavy as O2 molecule. Yes, we know that. Hence at 25 degrees Celsius, that is at constant temperature, they are asking average kinetic energy ratio of SO2 and O2 they are asking. So that will be, definitely it is 1:1. That is average kinetic energy of the gas molecule only depends on the temperature. Temperature is remains same means they are having same kinetic energy. That's it. Kinetic molecular theory of gases and the deduction of gas laws. I hope so. You got some information from this video. So if you really like the content, so please do subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep watching Appa Chemistry classes.